Hi, this is Elena, and I'm here with an energy update about the closure of 2024. And before I bring up the five major points about this video, I'm gonna do a short recap for 2024, what was going on. You seem kind of careful because I started recording this video and Zoom closed and opened up again, continued recording, and I was like, what is going on again? So, what was going on? 2024 started in a very fast pace, in a very fast way, where a lot of things happening, and we were trying to figure out what is going on now, where am I, what is changing, what is happening, and months were shifting very fast. They were very productive and creative in many ways, but the awareness of time was a lot different. And around summertime, by the end of summertime, around August, we started realizing and slowing down as a pace of the collective of how things evolve, even with the earth. I kept hearing my mom saying, the walnuts became faster or the tea grew faster and people had to actually cut it off in the mountains and stuff like that. And it's not just the pace of the humankind, it's the pace of the earth, of how the earth is evolving. So have in the back of your mind that it's not something wrong that is happening. We are evolving faster and the pace is faster generally along with nature, with Mother Earth. Okay. That said, we started slowing down since September, October, and things are moving in a more balanced way in some ways, but still a lot of shadows are showing up to each one of us individually. And this year was a year of a lot of why is this happening? What is going on? Am I going to actually explore that? It was a year of realizing who you are individually, owning your individualization, claiming your own sovereignty, claiming your own power, understanding who you are as an individual. So we felt kind of cut off from the divine in some ways, not in a huge way. We felt cut off from each other in many ways. Most of us had to deal with a lot of things going on in our close circle of people that we couldn't even open up our eyes and observe someone else outside of that because the process required that kind of attention and focus in that direction. So what is changing now? We are going to be having a lot of explanation given to us. So open up your ground chakras, updates are coming up, and a lot of signs, a lot of answers will be coming through, more clarity. The questions you had about why this happened, why that happened, why this happened in that way, particularly, okay? A lot of clarity will be coming through. You will be understanding what each of the things that happened in your life has a meaning and what kind of meaning is that. You will be realizing more of the next steps of your divine plan orchestrated by your higher self and being played out by you in many ways. So we are coming into a space of getting more directions, getting more clarity, more insights, and having more guidance as to how to step forward. What is the next step? What to do and how to do it? And what is the point of all the things that happened already? So be open, keep asking questions, keep pondering about stuff. So answers will be coming to you. Be open to ponder. And this is the first point out of the five I have to make on this video, on this energy update. Keep asking questions, keep being open to receiving answers. This is the point where you receive answers, clarity, a more laid down to earth path, if it makes sense. A lot of steps will be revealed to you as to what you do next. And you will have to change probably your priorities if you haven't already, because this was a huge calling for 2024. Change your priorities, speak them out loud. Throat chakra was a huge, and it still is, okay, a huge activation point for many of us to speak out our truth, to speak the truth to ourselves first and foremost, and being able to communicate it to others, because this is usually the point that makes it difficult. Communicate, speak up your truth, be yourself regardless of the situation or what is going on. Don't be afraid to embrace who you are, even by speaking out your desires, your thoughts, your mind, your feelings, everything literally. The second point of this energy update is about, as I have done in other videos, the outdated versions of you. So what is showing up again in a very fast pace, again in a short way, is versions you have outgrown the late few months, okay, not from many years kind of thing, but the late few months you have outgrown yourself many times that you haven't even realized it. So these versions are showing up in a way that you're going to be acknowledging, recognizing the growth you have done already, and you will be able to say, okay, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing me how much I have changed. Bye bye. It's not because things that are not done or complete or you are repeating a cycle necessarily, okay? Because sometimes when we feel something from months ago or even years ago, we wonder if there is a cycle going on there, a pattern that we have to break or something. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's very few cycles that you have to work on, someone says. But pay attention to the outgrown versions of you, aspects of yourself that have changed and shifted to who you are now. And say your goodbyes. Okay. Now, the third point of this video about the energy update is that the new version of you is being created in a deep sense, in a deep way. What do I mean by that? So, in between the outgrown versions of you, you were grounding a new version of how to be within yourself, who you are in essence, and how that is depicted in your everyday life. Either you are a healer, a psychic medium, or a light worker with a normal day job. It doesn't matter. You're still a light worker, an energy worker. Okay. So, in that aspect, you are being guided to the newest version of you, a more grounded way, in a higher frequency, in a higher vibration, where you will feel your energy shifting and how you perceive energy of others, of yourself, around you. The perception is changing of how you perceive this world and literally even past lives, future lives, parallel lifetimes. Your perception is shifting massively. So be open to explore without feeling that you put yourself in a box and you stay there with your mindset. Okay, so dismiss that and be open to explore who you are becoming. In other words, don't make yourself feel like I know this as true and this is it, because this is not it. It's a lot more. Okay, and you are grounding these aspects of yours as a newer version of you on a highest timeline, on a highest frequency, with a deeper understanding of the energy of life in overall and of who you are. You may have seen these glimpses of yourself some days of when the energy was higher, where you felt more in alignment, more in the flow of things. Okay, you may have already had some glimpses of that. So you are not losing the momentum if you have been afraid of that, but still you have to awaken more of who you are in essence. So that version, the new version of you is being built up, and don't worry about it. It flows and it comes and goes. And if there is something blocking in your energy from your past, from your childhood, when you were a teenager, your early adult years, whatever is creating even a minor block will be showing up in your life so you can deal with it, remove the emotional charge, whatever is keeping you stuck in that space, so you can fully download and embody the new version of you, which actually takes me to the fourth point of this video. I'm not losing track of numbers, am I? So the fourth point is actually when something shows up from the past, don't dismiss it, don't be dismissive, don't ignore it, okay? Stay with that. It might be an image of a situation like a movie playing up with a former friend, a former partner, a former colleague, or whatever the situation, something that agitated you or made you have a different agreement with yourself of how you will see and view life from now on, okay? So you created a limiting belief, a conditioning there. In that space, why this is showing up again in your mind, okay? Because you have to actually stay with that, entertain how you felt about it, why you felt like that, and take it a step further of going deeper in order to realize what is hidden there. Usually something shows up because there's some kind of recognition, of acknowledgement you have to give to yourself or to the whole situation to find a higher perspective of things. So, to make it more clear, a situation from the past shows up where you had an argument with some friends, for example, that you later on stopped even talking with them. And when you remember what happened, what comes up is a feeling of agitation or frustration. Why did that happen? And things could have gone better. So the point is for you to stay with that, to figure out why you reacted like that emotionally, mentally, the words you said actually in that situation, and what actually put you in the spot to actually disregard the connection in overall, even maybe not talking with those friends anymore. And you get to be in a space to acknowledge a part of your truth you were dismissive so far. Because when something happens in our life, we have a first emotional reaction to that, okay? Either we get furious or we get sad, frustrated about that, and we don't go deeper to explore why. Or we stay in that feeling of, yeah, I was right, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes, you were right, but why? So ponder and question why that feeling, why you were right, why you were wrong, or why you had to actually move past these people, these situations. Why weren't your friends? Why you didn't consider them friends anymore? Okay, what happened? Because in that space, you will find a hidden diamond actually of your truth of why you chose to react like that, even if you weren't fully conscious of what you were doing. So I got agitated, for example, and I got in a space to actually step back from these people because they shared something with me that on a deeper level showed disrespect to me, on a deeper level showed me that they weren't true friends. For example, they weren't there for me, they weren't actually listening, actively listening to me, they weren't actively understanding me. And they tried to project their truth on me, or they tried to impose their truth on me, disregarding my truth, disregarding my desires or what makes me happy. So what I felt in that space is me being disrespected in many ways. It felt like they weren't seeing the true me. So in that realization, you may figure out that these people weren't in alignment with you to begin with, and that it was your space that was violated in one way or another. Okay. So you pretty much get what I'm saying. If something shows up, journal about it and go deeper with more questions because there's something hidden there as a blessing, as a truth of who you are in essence, to realize, to own it, and to step into a better connection with who you are and understand your actions, your words, and what you are claiming from now on, because that gives you clarity for the connections you are creating from now on with that specific example. Okay. So be in that space of claiming your truth, of claiming uh, part of what happened and you haven't truly processed in depth. Okay. That done, and I'm looking, of course, at my precious notebook of the points I have to make. The final one, the fifth one, excuse me, has to do with timelines, timeline shifting, with being in two timelines at the same time, which was one of the themes of 2024 of what is going on. Sometimes I feel in full flow and everything is magical, and things manifest and I'm happy, I'm content. And the next day, everything is very 3D, very brutal, very raw, very what is going on here kind of thing. So if you have found yourself so far in that space of feeling at some periods in a very high frequency, in a good flow of things and happening and creative and being productive and having that flow, and then the next minute, a completely different reality of what's going on here again and why this and that is wrong, finding yourself in a different completely space, as if you shifted from a luxurious ball, okay, of with dancing and fancy dresses to a completely different neighborhood where gunshots are playing up, okay? So these are two contradicting images, if it makes sense. Two different timelines and a huge way different between them. And if you have found yourself in that space of this and that, it is time to claim the highest of timelines. Don't try to merge things. Don't try to unite anything. It's not gonna work. Find yourself asking and having as an intention a highest frequency of timeline at this point now for you. What is keeping us in those two timelines that I was explaining or trying to explain before with that example that anyway, bless them to my guides for the examples that they show up with. So the reason why you have been in those two so different timelines is because you have wrong priorities. And I'm saying wrong and it doesn't even sound nice or in alignment, okay? Wrong for who you are in this point of time, wrong when it comes to the alignment you already have. And this is causing more misalignment, if it makes sense. The two timelines serve in a way that you are still trying to make things correct, make things happen in a way that is not in alignment with you. So you feel that back and forth with these two different timelines. So what you have to do in this case is ponder a bit what kind of priorities you have to change in your life, how you can change those priorities, what is the point, because what I saw was a different set of choices that I had to make for myself. It wasn't just one choice, a set of choices for different things that were interconnected in a way that I couldn't pinpoint from the beginning. So what you have to do is check with yourself the priorities you have now, not just in a mental way. I want you to journal about it. I want you to write them down. What are your priorities? What you actually do in your life? What are your actions? Are these actions in alignment with the priorities you say to yourself you have? For me, it wasn't that complicated, if it makes sense, but I had to shift a set of choices that were interconnected for completely different subjects and areas of my life. So when you write down things, make sure you prioritize depending on which area of your life you want to actually course correct and redirect and make yourself as a priority. Remember, 2024 was about individualization, which means you have to have priority yourself as a priority yourself, and what makes you happy, not the things you think that make you happy, not keeping others satisfied, not making them even in a simple choice as your priority. Your priority is solely you. And if you haven't gotten that message as clear as possible from your higher self, from the situations around you, from the people around you, from your guides, from what is going on globally, you have to realize it now, because the more you delay realizing that, the more you resist realizing that, the more blockages you create in your path, which show up in many different ways. You may feel restrained in your health. You may feel that money is not flowing in. Okay, and I have so many bills to pay. I have that and blah, 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 which is reality. Okay, you have to change your priorities again. So, friends, work, colleagues, what you prioritize, and if your choices, your actions, your daily actions are in alignment with the priorities you think you have. Make that kind of as a checkpoint by journaling things down, because there's no better way for us to observe ourselves. Someone outside of us will be easy to observe what we say and what we do that is not in alignment. But for ourselves to reflect on that, we need a bigger piece of truth, which is a paper, okay? So sit down with yourself, be completely honest, brutal honest, and are your actions aligning with your priorities that you have set, at least mentally, with your intentions? And make sure you change all of these small, minor choices on an everyday level that don't keep you in alignment with what you want to prioritize in your life from now on. And make sure you dedicate time on the things that truly matter for you. And of course, we will have things happening and thrown at us where we have to change a bit and for a while our priorities. But even with that, make sure that even during that period, your priority is you, one way or another. Okay. So, I think that is it. The 5 points for the closure of 2024. And of course, the closure is not happening with at the end of December when we actually invite in the 1st of January of 2025. So mind you that this kind of energy will be flowing a bit more than the end of 2024. If you have any questions, if you have felt that this is what you're going through, if you have felt that you had more challenges than normal, okay, please comment below. I want to hear you. I want to see you, more of you here and on the Facebook group, Elena the Greek group. Please join us there. And more is coming up as updates, as meditations. A lot of things are shifting. And be in that space of recognizing the hidden truth behind a whole situation that makes you feel that you were probably too judgmental, too agitated, and you wanted to be more zen. Forget about those things and self-judgment, okay? Because life is life. Take the time that you know that you need, either for meditation, that is always good, for self-care, for a bit of creativity, for connecting with the earth, with Mother Nature. Okay, the usual, the very basic stuff that every single thing of those is helping us to actually enhance our understanding of connectivity and individualization. Okay, so take care of yourself. Let me know in the comments if this resonated, if this helped a bit. Keep asking questions so you will have some more space to receive answers, because yes, answers are coming, epiphanies are coming, but trigger some of these epiphanies to happen. Okay, we trigger by asking things, by letting the universe show us, the higher self to show us what is going on. Your own being is so clever and multi-layered, multi-leveled, that is smart enough to show you. So create some space for you to see with clarity, with purpose, and as always, be true to yourself and be your true self. See you on next videos, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, okay? Bye.